In today's video, we're going to see if we can use the heat inside of a car for a rather unusual purpose, making beef jerky. Guys, we're here with our friend Joseph, and Joseph had an interesting idea that he wanted to try out, and we wanted to try it out with him. Here's the basic idea. We're going to take some seasoned meat, put it on some trays, and leave it inside of a hot car with the windows most of the way rolled up. We want to find out if after a couple of days, the meat will dehydrate and turn into beef jerky. All right, tell us about what we're trying out today.
Yeah, so what we are going to try to do is we are going to make beef jerky, but we're going to do it in an unusual way. We are going to turn this car into a dehydrator. So of course you know that when you leave a car out in the sun, it can get very, very, very warm inside. Now that's a very bad reason to leave pets and children in a car on a hot day, but it's a very good reason if you want to make beef jerky to put your meat in the car.
Sounds solid.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's what we're gonna do today.
All right, guys, we have made beef jerky on this show before. We showed you how to build a dehydrator out of a heat lamp, a little computer fan, and a cardboard box. It worked great. The beef jerky was delicious. This is a little bit less conventional. This isn't a box we're building, it's just a box that we already have. It happens to have motor and wheels
Yeah.
and windows and a lot of other things on it, but it's a box and
So
it gets warm.
We're gonna turn this thing into a meat mobile, basically.
Yes.
Joseph, is your car going to smell like beef jerky for the rest of eternity?
Yes, it is. And I'm gonna love every minute
Very
of it.
possible.
Free smells.
Free smells.
Free smells.
More than you may want.
What makes this safe in the first place? Because my first thought was, how in the world is this going to be sanitary?
Yeah, exactly. This is a great question. And to me, this is one of the amazing things about beef jerky. To me, beef jerky is witch science. It's amazing. It's a thing that should not work.
Witch science.
Because the thing you know about meat is that meat goes bad. You need to refrigerate it or freeze it or else it's going to go bad. But when you dehydrate the meat, you actually make it so that it can be preserved outside of a refrigerator for long periods of time.
Okay.
The way that works is that, of course, the danger with food is that it's going to spoil because of microbial growth. Now, the bacteria that spoil your food are actually a lot like humans. They like a certain temperature range. They don't want it to be too hot. They don't want it to be too cold. They like to breathe. They need oxygen. They like a little bit of moisture. Of course, they need something to feed on.
That does sound like me.
Yeah. So the way that this works is how you stop the microbial growth, or at least how you slow it down, is you manipulate one of those variables. The two most common variables that you'll manipulate when you're keeping meat or other food from spoiling is you'll manipulate the temperature. So we're going to be manipulating a different variable today, which is the moisture level. When you dehydrate something, obviously what you're doing is you're removing the moisture, almost all of it, as much as you can. And then what you have is an environment that even if it's kind of warm, and even if there's food to feed on, and even if there's air, there's no moisture, and so the bacteria can't grow.
Okay.
That's what dehydration is.
Solid. So this is the car we're going to be using. What do you think is the best way? How should we set this up? So I've prepared some beef. I just got some, I think it was top round. Probably got 3 pounds of it here. So it was dry, but obviously some juices have leaked out as it just sat in the refrigerator. Both of these were in my refrigerator overnight, and so they should be pretty well flavored at this point.
The first thing I'm thinking we're gonna do is we're gonna lay out a tarp over the back seat. And that is, of course, to keep the raw meat juices from permeating my upholstery. So we're gonna lay out the tarp, and then you need some kind of way to let the air circulate around it, right?
Maybe at some point you'll actually just drive the car around,
yeah,
and
yeah.
Windows
that'll
cracked
get
a
some
little
air
bit.
circulating through.
Yeah,
I like
we will
that.
have the windows cracked too, so we should get some airflow. We're not gonna have as much as a dehydrator with a fan, but it still should work. There are dehydrators without fans, and so, you know, it's a bit of an experiment, but I'm optimistic. So then we're gonna lay out these perforated trays, right, to make at least some airflow, right? And then cover them up so that no bugs get on them, right? So that we'll have like this mesh cage surrounding the beef jerky.
So I did have a thought. Before we start setting everything up, the heat is going to be coming from sunshine for the most part. Glass allows visible light through. It does not allow infrared light through. Visible light will travel in. As some of it slows down, it gets trapped and can't get out. That's why cars get so hot.
A car outside on a hot day with the windows rolled up or mostly rolled up, if the temperature is between 80 or 100 degrees Fahrenheit outside, then the internal temperature of the car should go up to somewhere between 130 to 170 degrees Fahrenheit, which, hey, happens to be exactly the right temperature for dehydrating meat.
We're just gonna keep track of things in 24 to 48 hours from now. We're gonna say like, hey, it looks like it's pretty good. We're gonna call it. We want, therefore, the maximum amount of visible light to get in. And I believe you said you recently went on a slightly dusty adventure,
Yes,
My
which
goodness.
is showing up a bit.
Yeah,
So I think step one is a car wash.
let's do it.
All right.
Go, Shadowfax. Show us the meaning of haste.
Oh boy! car's clean.
Shadowfax has been washed and cleaned. A lot more light's gonna get in there, I think. That's a good thing. That should give us some good temperatures, and it's time to set up. Now, in an effort to prevent flies from taking over this beef jerky, we're going to take another screen and just cover the top of the beef jerky. It does look weirdly appetizing. Like, I know it's raw, but it still looks like it's gonna be delicious. Like it is delicious already.
It's quite the thing we've got going here.
Yeah.
All right.
So only thing left to do is to park it in the sun, leave it for 24, 48 hours, see what happens.
Okay, let's do
Hope
it.
it gets nice and blazing hot today. It's been a little over 24 hours, and both yesterday and today were very warm. You were doing a little bit of testing, right?
Yeah, so I put a thermometer in here and we actually broke the thermometer. It only went up to 130 degrees. So we know for a fact it's been hotter than 130 degrees in here. I think that based upon the numbers I was looking at earlier, I'm pretty sure this thing has gotten above 150, so.
Time for the reveal.
Take our hopefully beef jerky
Open up the giant dehydrator.
out of our
boy.
enormous motorized dehydrator.
I'm surprised it wasn't just like a meat smell that just like wafted out of your car.
I got a little bit of meat
not.
smell.
I was gonna say, it does smell really nice in there. I wish we could like put the smell in the video.
Yeah, that smells like opening a bag of beef jerky straight from the store kind of thing.
Right? Yeah.
That looks like
at
beef
that.
jerky.
Yeah, I've seen beef jerky. It sure looks like beef jerky.
Okay, let's
Oh man, we might have over dehydrated some of this even.
try this out.
I mean, it also tends to collect a little bit more moisture after you take it out of the dehydrator, so.
That tastes like beef jerky.
Yeah.
It might be a little drier than you usually want it, but it's really good.
I was going to say, that only proves that it works extra well.
Yeah, we could have done thicker pieces maybe.
I was gonna say, this is absolutely blowing
Yeah.
my mind. Like, we left raw meat in a hot car
And we made food.
and we made food. Really delicious food.
Yeah.
It was good.
I have seen people bake cookies in a car before. I didn't know that you could make edible meat. This is ridiculous and awesome.
I know meat feels like one of those like kind of riskier things,
Yeah.
right?
This is the other flavoring.
Yeah.
I'm actually amazed. I wondered if this would be successful because, you know, you don't have the fan, you don't have as much air moving over it, you can't regulate the temperature in the same way. But this has just been like a total unqualified success.
Absolutely. Should we try our hanging pieces?
Didn't,
Oh,
I
yeah,
think we
let's,
didn't even ruin your car.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think
it's
so
not even
either.
that strong of a smell.
Yeah, and then the other thing I was really surprised by is no flies. I checked out here multiple times, not a single fly, which
We
really
had
surprised
several
me.
flies around as we were getting started.
Run it off. That's the stuff that was hung over the rod, so like dried
Nice.
perfectly.
Yeah. Like this is several bags worth of beef jerky. This might
Yeah.
be cheaper than,
It was like 50 bucks
Buying
worth
your
of
own.
beef jerky.
oh my goodness, this is good stuff.
So guys, can you make beef jerky in a car?
Heck yeah.
Yes, yes, you can.
Should you make beef jerky in a car?
I'm gonna submit yes, because A, I have beef jerky, and B, my car smells delicious. I see this as an absolute win.
I see this as an absolute win.
Maybe if you are in a situation where you have to drive your car around a lot in those 24 hours, it might, I would say this is a good, like if you know your car's not going many places, because it was, you know, we did need to get it up to temperature, uncomfortably warm for person.
Driving around in a 150
You were
degree
guessing
Yeah.
150, that would be very uncomfortable. But for the jerky, the only downside of this stuff is that we may have over dehydrated it. And so it's possible that if you like got this in there early in the morning and had a good hot day, by the evening you could just be like, it's done, I'm taking it out. We let this go another day and hit the high heat of the day.
Yep.
That was actually something that really surprised me is how little time it took because of no airflow and the not being able to control the temperature. I was thinking 24 to 48 hours. And I think you're right. If you put it in early in the morning on a really hot day, and I think you'd also want to pay attention to the humidity of the air. If the air's too humid, then that would also slow down the drying process.
Pretty dry where we are. This seems to have worked very well and we're very happy with the outcome. One thing we do want to say, quick caveat, this is not cooked meat. This is raw meat that we're starting with. So if you are trying something like this, do so at your own risk. We're not guaranteeing that this is going to give you a safe, edible product. Thanks again to Joseph for the idea and supplying the car. This has been wonderful.
Yeah, thank you. This has been an awesome project.
Guys, Joseph is a part of the channel Good and Basic. You can go check them out on YouTube. They've got some very cool Good things and basic things.
Yeah, good things and basic things. That's probably the best way to say it.
Yeah.
So if you want to check that out, we've also done videos about parched corn, which is another Native American kind of trap or trail food type thing. So you can check that out. We have a lot of other good videos too. So thank you very much. And this is a great project. Thanks for having us on.
Good to have you. Guys, that's not all. We've always got more for you to see. Click that box up at the top to check out our most recent video, and we will see you in the next one. Talk to you then.